Yeah. If I was president, I'd get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. Instead of spending billions on the war, I can use that money so I can feed the poor. Cause I know some so poor. When it rains, that's when they shower, scream and fight the power. That's when the vulture devours. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president, yeah. I know some soldiers that sleep but they can't dream, wake up with screams, sounds of M16. So take this medal of honor for your bravery. I wish you the best, kid, you and your family. If I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president. But the radio won't play this. They call it rebel music. How can you refuse it? Children of Moses, tell the children the truth, the truth. It's not all that bling that's diamond. Tell them the truth, the truth. Most of y'all wear cubic zirconians. Tell them the truth, the truth, yeah. Your soul is worth more than diamonds.
If I was president, all blacks that have reparation, no segregation, feed the nation so there's no famine. Muslims, Jews, Christians, with all whole hands every week on the beach. Party by the sand, word up. Take trips on Air Force One. Don't need to bring the homeless with no sneaks to Air Force One. Better schools in the hood, better teachers for the classes, making money, paying no tax. Find the best scientists, tell them come up with an answer. I want the cure for AIDS and cancer, but I gotta watch my back. Snipers on the hill with the steel, waiting to JF kill.
I was president, I get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday. They go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president. I feel the rain coming, let me play my guitar for them right now.
Let's go.
Refugees, yeah.
Good morning. Thank you guys for coming in. It is 10 a.m. on a Saturday, so you know what it is. It is the Chisholm Report here with Kristie J. I'm Kristie J, just in case you didn't know. And I'm here to give y'all everything that you need for what's happening politically, local government, and also news. My background is political science. I have a degree in political science from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And I just want to first just tell you guys how this week has gone, okay? I went to the Country Wayne comedy show. Shouts out Country Wayne. Call in 702-551-5261. It was a good time. So it was at the Mandalay Bay. And they also had the same night there was a Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube concert. Snoop and Cube, call in so you can give me free tickets to anything else that you're doing. 702-551-5261. Period. And I believe there was a Q festival or some type of convention in, because there was a lot of men out with no shirts on and ass out. Okay, I don't know if they was a part of it, but they were out there. So they also had Love and Friends, or Friends and Family. Family and Friends. Love and friend, lovers and friends. I didn't go, okay, but I heard it was a good time. They tried to say somebody was shooting out there, and they were able to go ahead and say that was not true. Um, and then, what else happened this week? What else happened this week? Oh, you guys, Christian. So, you ever, okay, you know what I'm saying? For the mommies and the daddies that's out there that got little kids, okay? I know that it was BCon this week, last week or whatever. And I just want to give shouts out to these kids still pushing through, even through a pandemic, through them having issues with their schools and learning and everything else. And they still pushing all the way through. To graduate, and they didn't skip a beat. Seeing so many college papers that's coming out that everybody is getting ready to go to where they want to attend. Just congratulations to you guys, and congratulations to all the kids that are graduating this year. I'm proud of all of you guys. You really pushed through. So thank you for being good role models and pushing yourself to show the younger kids that this is something that they wanted to do. I'm saying that because my son is 8, and he wanted to be able to say, he was like, we were looking at the videos and stuff online. And he was like, who graduated? Like in our family, the child that we had that graduated, she graduated last year. Okay. And what's so crazy is we didn't have anybody else. We didn't have anybody else this year that was graduating in our family. And Christian was like, well, I want to graduate. I'm like, good, because you gotta graduate from 6th grade, then you gotta graduate from high school, then you gotta graduate from college. I keep telling people, I bet not ever hear anybody tell my child that there is not a 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th grade, okay? Because he's going to college, okay? There is no additional, you can't go. That's not a part of it. So don't keep a lie. All right. Make sure you tell your kids that there is a 13th, 14th, and 15th, 16th grade they need to be going to. I want to jump into this real quick. So here in Las Vegas, we actually have a couple of different things I want to speak on. One is the EDC that's out here that happens every year. It's like a big, humongous rave concert where kids or adults, let me say that, are out there and they are raving. Okay, I just had a question in regards to it. Anytime there's a concert or anything like that out here that we go to, just saying, black and brown, there's a lot of police presence and a lot of people actually go to jail. But this concert is geared on the fact that this is about, rave music and stuff like that. And people that do rave music know that there's a lot of drug use at these places, and there's no regulation. There are not a lot of people out there arguing and fussing and upset about these kids coming here to do drugs. And I wonder, is that only because they're white kids? Or is because I'm not seeing that same type of action where there's like, go have fun, don't worry about it. Yeah, you got drugs on you when we pulled you over, but we're going to still let you drive off. I don't know. It bothers me, though, because I don't think it's fair that they can have a whole entire event about being able to do drugs, okay? And as soon as we get the crip walking and stuff like that at the regular concerts, it's time to shut it down. Call in. If you are at the parade grounds for this and you want to give an exclusive of what's happening, go ahead and call in 702-551-5261. I do have a video. I want you guys to know that I am my heart is kind of hurt behind the things that happened last week and last weekend. This literally happened the day that I came on to do my show, and it happened right after my show. So it hurts me to know that this stuff is still happening.
This
Let's go ahead,
massacre
go
in
to
Buffalo. President Biden is heading there to meet with the families of the victims as officials release new details about the lives lost. And this morning, we're getting an exclusive look at the moment the shooter was arrested and the warning signs that were missed. Stephanie Ramos starts us off from Buffalo. Good morning, Stephanie.
George, good morning. President Biden and the First Lady will be here in Buffalo this morning, paying their respects here at the Tops supermarket and also meeting with the families of the victims. The president is expected to call for federal hate crime legislation so that what happened here never happens again. This morning, chilling new details on how the gunman behind the deadly mass shooting at a Buffalo, New York supermarket plotted his racist rampage.
The individual was here a few months ago, back in early March.
Authorities now confirming 18-year-old Peyton Gendron visited Tops supermarket 2 months before he shot and killed 10 people in what the FBI calls a racially motivated attack. ABC News obtaining a 589-page document containing the suspect's alleged posts on the site Discord. Authorities say it appears to show how the gunman carefully planned out the massacre, visiting the supermarket on March 8th, where he was questioned by a security guard. The document also included sketches of the supermarket, outlining different aisles he could navigate quickly. The shooter allegedly describing the store as his first location, listing other possible locations to attack nearby. Police say the shooter visited the store again the day before his deadly assault to conduct reconnaissance, then came back Saturday and opened fire.
There's a lot of people there.
This exclusive video capturing the shock and terror in the shooting's aftermath as the gunman was arrested.
Oh my God, he shot so many people in there.
Julie Harwell, seen here falling to the ground, inconsolable. Her partner and 8-year-old daughter were inside. Overnight, her partner telling ABC News he and their daughter London had separated from Julie because they wanted to buy ingredients for a surprise birthday cake.
I took my daughter so she can pick out what cake that we were going to bake for her mother's birthday, try to surprise her.
And then what did you hear?
Well, first you hear the gunshot. I see all the people running, so I just grabbed my daughter, ran in the back.
Lamont and London hiding in a cooler as they recounted to our affiliate WKBW.
I was scared for my mom. I didn't know where she was. I thought she was gone.
They were separated for 20 minutes, which felt like an eternity.
That was the longest wait I ever had in my life.
While they made it out alive, the gunman killing 10 people. Celestine Cheney, Roberta Drury, Andre McNeil, Catherine Massey, Marcus Morrison, Hayward Patterson, Aaron Salter Jr., Geraldine Talley, Ruth Whitfield, and Pearl Young. Hayward Patterson had just been at his church's soup kitchen before.
Okay, so as hard it is for us to have to watch this, we watch it like a new sequel to a show every couple months. Every couple months we have to figure out, why are we watching this? Why is this happening? Why is it okay that this keeps happening? Okay? Let me say this. Where is the executive order for Black lives? Okay? I believe that Asians should be protected, most definitely. I think that Hispanic people should be protected, most definitely. I think that the Ukrainians that are coming over here, they should be protected, most definitely. When is it going to be against the law to the point where they are really enforcing the fact that, if you notice that the last couple of people who did these type of crimes, I won't say they got off, but they got off. When is it really going to become an eye for an eye? The Republican Party is most definitely trying to bring church back into the government sanction this situation. When is it going to be an eye for an eye? When are we going to be able to say that it's enough, that my people have gone through enough, that these people keep targeting us, and we we keep waiting on law enforcement to do something and they keep walking them out. If I had a so-called counterfeit $20 bill, I'd be dead. If I was selling single cigarettes on the street, I'd be dead. If I was playing with a toy gun in the park where kids play, I would be dead. If I'm sleeping in my own house and they've already arrested the actual suspect, but they want to come back into my house and raid my house, I would be dead. But me going to a grocery store and killing people who had nothing to do with any type of argument, fight, or anything else that I had, and murking them, making sure that they lay down, I get to walk out and I get to go to jail and get me 3 hots and a cot, and they can be able to hear my story, and I can write my manifesto of 586 pages before they say anything. What I don't understand is, how was he able to get 586 pages of documents about him doing this on the internet, and I can put a laughing face emoji and say something like, I would kick somebody's ass for my husband, and I'm being banned for 20 days. I say, there was a time that we were having they were having a conversation on the Morning Wood show, and they were talking about rappers, in the secret society behind rappers, and them basically having homosexual acts and stuff like that to be able to get records and get their music played and everything else. And I said a bunch of and I'm gonna say it, a bunch of dick in the booty rappers all in the industry, and I got banned for 20 days.
Because it's homophobic.
That's not homophobic. That's what it is. And when is it not? That's what happens with them when they have it. Anyway, the whole point is, how was he able to get 586 pages of him talking about him going into these different stores? This was his first location of him being able to go and say this racist ass shit online, and then turn back around and he's able to not only get there, but he's frequent there. He drove out. None of these people, nobody pushed him down. Nobody stole his candy. Nobody took his girlfriend. Nobody stole his credit cards. Nothing. These people were innocent people. And that's what I want to talk about on my next video. The innocent people, these were people going to the grocery store, just regular, just me and you. You know what I'm saying? Let's say there's times that I just decide I just want to drive to the grocery store and just buy something just because. Or maybe we decided we want to make cookies. Or the family that was on here with their child and said that they were going to make a cake and they were separated from the mother. Why are we not being upset about this as a people? I'm going to let this... Why every time we get ready for something to move in our way of people, of us as people, we have to watch our people being gunned down, and then they want to say, oh, he had a mental issue. He had a mental issue when he was writing these 589 pages. Oh, well, this was because of COVID. He wrote nigger on his gun. He didn't write COVID. Okay, 18 years old, if it was a black dude and he had a fake gun and he pointed it at the police, he would be in jail for a couple of months or dead when they first got there. 18 years old is old enough for you to be able to go buy cigarettes. 18 years old is old enough for you to be able to push a car. 18 years old, you can even, what else can you do at 18? You can go into some of these clubs. I went, I'm just saying. You're able to do all these things when all of a sudden he's a kid, right? All of a sudden, he's a kid, right? He didn't know what he was doing. The fuck he didn't. Why wouldn't he know? Did he not know when he decided to get in the car and load up all the guns? Did he not know when he went and took some of the guns over to his friend's house and they were disturbed? Did he not know the year beforehand that he was arrested and they were able to they arrested this boy because he was going to do this at his school? Let's go ahead and go into the video so y'all can hear a little bit more frustration of what I got going.
Shot them 10 black people. Let that have been 10 King Vons. They'll be tearing up Buffalo. Let that have been 10 George Floyds. They'll be tearing up Buffalo. But them was 10 innocent older people that an 18-year-old white boy drove 4 hours away to intentionally go kill black people with the word nigger wrote on his gun. Ain't no rapper mad about nothing. Ain't nobody saying what's his mama's address. Ain't nobody trying to find out where his cousin and them live. Nobody, homie. Let that be, no, man. So that's what get me about these niggas. They so gang and so gangster. So we got 18-year-old niggas just killing. Look what they 18-year-old people killing for. They rape. Our 18-year-old niggas just killing our own.
Okay, so okay, so then in saying that, it hurts my heart to know that when we as black people, just like with the George Floyd thing, oh yeah, because everybody was mad about being in the house all day and everything, everybody decided they was gonna go out, and then you start to see the trickle effect of people not coming out because the police chief took a knee, like that was go end the whole situation. And so they decided, what I don't understand is what happened to this movement of us, because we will be fighting at first and arguing and yelling in the street, and then it'll be a trickle down into white women and gay people, which I don't mind. I appreciate them being there. But when are you going to stand up for what's happening with you? And then want to complain about what's happening in the city, in the state, what's happening in government. And then you be the same people that won't cast a vote. Oh, my vote don't matter. Oh, your vote doesn't matter. Okay, well, they were able to vote in the fact that the gun is okay, but abortion isn't. I can shoot a person at will, but I can't have any control over my own body. I want to say something real quick to somebody that's in the comments. Miss Scarborough, you are amazing. I don't know if you know this, but just to let my people on the show hear me. When I left to go to college, I had my grandparents, and when I got there, Miss Scarborough took me in as like a daughter. Okay, made sure that I was able to get around if I needed to, point me in the right directions. At Southern University, she is an angel walking around on this earth, and I really appreciate you. She looked out for me and my cousin Sir Lawrence. And she made sure that so many people that were fighting to try to stay in school with their student loans and FAFSA, she was one of those that you went to her because she had a heart of gold, and she would try her best to make sure that you got what you needed to be able to stay in school. And so, Miss Scarborough, I just want to tell you I love you so much, and thank you so much for being a part of our lives. We love you. But yeah, this is. It's sickening that we can keep watching this happen to our people, and then at the end of it, we really don't have any. Nothing has moved, and I can't help but say this, and I know I'm probably gonna get a phone call from the government. But look, what are government? Call in 702-551-5261. I got a question. Just if this was Tyrone Johnson, who went into Whole Foods in Green Valley, Las Vegas, Nevada area, would you have walked him out? If this was Shaniqua Johnson, who walked into Summerlin, let's use Whole Foods again, okay? Or the Trader Joe's, all right? And started laying people down. Would she have been walked out? If it was Kristie Jackson in my senior year in high school, and I decided to write something, and my parents sent off a email because they were concerned about my whereabouts and me, what I would do with the guns that they purchased for me. Would have I made it into the squad car? But you're telling me that if I got a fake $20 bill, I should be dead, right? My throat should be crushed under the leg of another man who's just trying to prove a point that he's the police and he is the law. I guess I should be dead if I'm selling single cigarettes on the side of the street, not bothering anybody. I don't even have a weapon on me. I'm not arguing with anybody. You're coming up to me. I should be dead, right? If I'm in my own home and I'm asleep with my boyfriend, and I'm not even dating the person that you have in custody already, and there's nothing in my house for you to take. There's no money, no drugs or anything, since you want to rob me, but you want to break into my house in the middle of the night and shoot me dead. But if I walk into a black popular black grocery store with nigger written on my gun, and I say sorry to the white guy that got scared and screamed, but I go hunting through these aisles looking for black people who never touched me, never did anything to me, don't even know my name, know nothing about me, I should be walked out, and I should be able to get justice. I should be able to go to court. But I can't go to court for a plastic gun in a park, right? Tell me where it's fair. Tell me where I'm missing it. And why my people should not be enraged. And why, if this is what they're doing, and if we start doing it, what are you going to do? Is it just because, well, they only did it once, so it's not really that you should be, you shouldn't be trying to go back and fight them back for the things that they're doing, even though they're doing it every other month. I don't understand. And hopefully one day we'll be able to understand that you can cover up stuff. You can literally try to say we don't need to talk about those things. But while it's still building up, we are going to continue to keep hurting until one day they realize that we're not playing and that you're not going to be able to come into our places of establishment or our businesses or our homes or our schools without you reaping what you sow. And then you'll have a problem, because at that point, you'll have to realize that we're not playing with you. And just like you got guns, we got guns too. It's when are we going to fight back? When is it okay for someone to be able to say, I'm not having it no more. Y'all not going to disrespect our queens no more. Y'all not going to keep hurting my children anymore. I'm at a loss of words for what we endure and what we keep coming back to, and all we do is talk about it. And on that video that the guy just said, he was like, ain't nobody looking for his house, his mama's house. Ain't nobody trying to figure out where he normally kick it at, where his friends at. Because this is what would happen if it was a beef between me and my brother. Somebody be looking for this dude who did something to me, right? Well, where are we as a people? Are we fighting back, or are we standing and waiting for them to figure it out? And if you're not going to vote, you standing there and trying to figure it out means that you're stagnant. You have nothing. You're going to allow them to be able to keep making these rules. Where are you at with your outrage for your executive order for them not to be killing black people? Where are you? I got another video that I wanted to talk about. I'm going to go into this, though. They said that the monkeypox is, what they're saying is that is a sexually transmitted disease. So for all y'all that's not wrapping up, we had our first case inside of the United States, and of course it was a man. Nasty things. I'm just saying. Let's go ahead and take a look at this so you guys can at least know what this is. If you see this on somebody, you know this is not just regular herpes. Okay.
Are confirming the state's first case of monkeypox. It's also the first case in the U.S. this year.
Now, the infected person is a man who recently traveled to Canada. Monkeypox is a rare, potentially serious virus. It begins with flu-like symptoms, swelling of the lymph nodes, and a progressive rash on the face and the body. Health officials, though, right now say there's no risk to the public.
Massachusetts public health officials are confirming the state's first case of monkeypox. It's also the first case in the U.S. this year.
Now, the infected person is a man who recently traveled to Canada. Monkeypox is a rare, potentially serious virus. It begins with flu-like symptoms, swelling of the...
Ugh. Okay. It looks hella nasty, and you're going to get it on your face if you was eating a box. Oh my God, can you imagine that? You down there and all of a sudden you see a little bump. Like, oh girl, you got the monkeypox. I don't think I could do it. I don't think so. I'm over the sex game, you know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna be celibate. I ain't having sex. If this is what is out there on inside of urethras and stuff like that, where I can't see it, and I'm cool. I don't need no new partners or nothing. I got Bay at home, all right, and Bay plugs in, and he's amazing. Okay, that's all I'm saying is this is disgusting, bro. Okay, and I just want to also point out the way these things move. All of these different viruses, it's disgusting. Like, you can get it from regular stuff, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been one of those people to go to clubs and stuff like that and be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna kiss a random ass person. I've never been that person. But I know people that do, and I just would not risk it to get these big, humongous bumps on my genitals. Or, you know what I'm saying, wherever there's an opening in your body, this could be. It's quite disgusting. But call in if you've seen these, or you can be able to explain how people are not seeing this on people's hands and still having sex with them. 702-551-5261. I don't know what to tell y'all. It's quite gross. Here in Las Vegas, I want to point out this here real quick. The primary election. So registration had to be before May 16th, I believe. Okay. Primary election day starts on June 14th. So you guys, you were able to get your ballots in the mail. If you did not receive a ballot, that means that you're probably not registered, or if you received a ballot and it has you as an independent or a Republican or a Democrat, that means that you cannot, in the primary, you cannot vote for a different party. That means if you put yourself as a Republican and your friend is running as a Democrat, you cannot vote for your friend because this is primaries. This is the actual parties being able to pick and choose their elected officials, the people who they are going to elect. Okay, so that means that you would be picking for the Republicans if you put on there that you're a Republican. You'll be putting on there as a if you are put that you are independent, then that would be on there also. Or if you put on there that you are a Democrat, that's who you be voting for. So pay attention that if you next time, if you did put on there that you are independent, and you like, why don't I get to vote for anybody? You only get to vote for the independent candidates. Okay. My theory was this: black people should really withhold their vote until we actually get together as a people and figure out exactly who and what we want to vote for. It's called togetherness, okay, and it's called being able to push your weight. And the weight is that we are only 11% of the country, but everyone else waits for our wave. What are we doing for them to jump on the bandwagon? Okay, that's why at Super Bowl everything was geared towards you as black people. All the commercials had a little hip hop, little gangsta, a little little twerk here and everything else. Why? Because they're trying to catch your attention, because people watch what you do and then they make decisions. If we were to hold our vote and say, I'm not. Until we decide as a people, this is who the candidate that we want. This is the candidate that's going to back us and do what we need to have happen. Then at that point we would be able to sway the votes, and then they will do more for us instead of them like they did in this last election. And I'll be honest, hey, Biden, call in 702-551-5261. Explain yourself on how you were able to use black women to be able to get to the top. You wanted to be able to put a black woman in as a vice president because it seemed like that was the best thing to do, and that people would support you behind supporting her. Then you surrounded yourself with beautiful black women who were with their voice loud and screaming for you and making sure that they were trying to push to make sure that you became the next president. And then you got in office and totally shitted on us and decided you were not going to do anything else for us. And then you sprinkle a couple of things on us once in a while, which would be us getting a justice, a black woman justice, which thank you for that. Appreciate it. But what else are you really doing for us? When Asians were having issues with crimes being done to them, you quickly and swiftly jumped in to make sure that they were being protected. Where are you at? Because you've been in office for years, decades, and you still have not made this happen. You've been in great positions where you were able to influence great men and women to be able to change this for us. At a long time, you was a little racist too. So call in, Joe, call on in so we can talk about this. I want to jump back onto the race situation and having people go into these places where we are we're shocked, places that are soft place. What do you call that? Soft targets. They're not ready. They're not with guns. They're not upset and have any additional rage. These are regular places that we go on our everyday. And we're gonna go into the video. We're not going into the video yet. We're going to talk about it. So the video that I have here is because the shooter actually, him and his wife actually owned a apartment building out here. And
we have a news follow-up for you tonight. A Decatur 14-year-old is in custody charged with attempted murder. Police responded to a shots fired call on April 26th at the Concord Apartments. They found a 49-year-old man who had been shot. It was a life-threatening injury, but he has since recovered. The same teenager has several
All right. So what I wanted to talk about was the California shooting at the church, okay, and that the guy that owned the building out here in Las Vegas, him and his wife, he's the one that drove out there to California to go shoot at this church. They said that they didn't know that he was racist, and he was going through something where his wife had just decided she was going to move back to Taiwan or back to wherever they came from. Because she had found out she had cancer. So she was leaving her husband. And he decided to go into a church and shoot people. This is what I mean. Have you heard about that? Did it slip through the cracks? Like, these are things that, like, dang, that happened too? Yeah, that happened the next following day. And we're so stuck with this and what happens that it doesn't even faze us. We're not upset about it. So it affects me to know that this keeps happening, and you keep saying that you can regulate. You can't regulate guns by putting restrictions on guns, but we can regulate abortions by putting restrictions on abortions. Like, you would rather worry about my cooch than worry about the fact that there are guns out here, that there are people that have mental issues that are putting this on the net for you to see, not being flagged, not being nothing's happening to them. But you'll rather worry about what I'm doing in my personal life if I decide that I don't want to have a baby or not, if I want to continue to be pregnant or not, but you won't say anything in regards to these kids and these mental people going into these places, these grocery stores and schools and churches, and killing people, and then you want to fight. The first thing you want to do is say, well, that was that person. Well, what happened to the other 36,000 other shootings that's happening every year? Like, we are up to the point where we have like 400 and some odd shootings this year, and we're in May. Like, when do we find a solution for this issue? When is it that the government actually wants to listen to the people? Because they're in that. You know what, Pelosi, call in 702-551-5261. I just want to know, how are you getting the information about your constituents, your people in your areas, and what they want? How are y'all writing this down? Is it only by the people that's calling and leaving voicemails? Or are you really listening to the people? Are you having like town halls for people to really voice to you what their concerns are? We're in a time right now where people are just being hurt, and there's no fixing this. You want to let them have these guns and stuff like that. And I'm not against people having guns. I'm not against people being able to protect themselves. I'm not against people wanting to have guns for sport. I'm not against that. God bless you. What I am against is this boy had issues last year. Why isn't his parents being brought to justice also? Like, where are his parents? Because if it was my kid, they'd be looking for me. Like, you were neglectful on being able to make sure that have your child know that if they're going to have a gun, then they need to have certain safety. Where are the parents? And why aren't they being held accountable? So, it kind of, like I said, it bothers me. I don't know what's the next step for that. I don't know how do we protect that. Our teachers already want guns in their classes, and what if they make a mistake? What if they jump too fast? What if it was just an argument between two students and they just end up deciding to shoot? Where's the safety? I had another video. Okay, let's go ahead and go into the video. Okay. I'm not terrible though. I'm literally, my stuff is in. Okay. Okay. So the government is actually seeing a bunch of sightings, and dealing with the UFO sightings here in Las Vegas. I swear, you come across a local, they're gonna tell you that they believe that we have aliens and stuff like that. Why? Because there's a whole entire area that you're not even allowed to drive by without them running up on you with guns. Like, what you doing out here? So,
on Capitol Hill, the search for answers to the unexplained.
Yeah, a series of unidentified aerial phenomena spotted by military pilots, or what most of us might call UFOs. So Congress is holding a public hearing on them right now, and ABC's Martha Raddatz has all the details.
Whoa, it's getting close. It was the videos that were impossible to ignore, and so were the witnesses. Released by the military in 2020, you hear stunned Navy pilots off California's coast in 2015 wondering out loud what the heck they were seeing in the skies. Former Navy pilot Ryan Graves telling GMA the encounters with these physics-defying objects became almost routine.
We were seeing them nearly every day that we were flying. We were going out there to do our normal training missions, so we weren't necessarily going out there to track these objects.
According to a U.S. official, defense officials plan to play videos like these to demonstrate how investigators try to determine and explain what is going on. More than 140 encounters reported by military personnel.
Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
The government report released last year finding a definitive explanation for only one of the encounters, but ruling out that any of the objects were part of any secret government technology or classified black program. So what might they be? A few possible explanations: counterintelligence devices by potential adversaries, or something created by the military's own highly sensitive sensor equipment.
These unidentified aerial vehicles basically can do things that no earthbound vehicle can do. We don't know how to do them. And it's really the appropriate thing that the Navy basically said, yep, these pictures are real. They were pinging our radars, but we don't know what they are.
The words alien or extraterrestrial were not found anywhere in the government report, but they were not ruled out either. The Pentagon says today's hearings, while it may not find new answers, will help with how these reports are handled.
It's about organizing around the effort so that there's a common
this right here. Okay, so they're saying that basically they've been seeing these sightings. This has been going on. But what are we gonna do? If they're starting to see an uptick in these sightings, what are we going to do when they decide to land and be like, hello, Earthlings? You know, I'm confused. But the fact that they had told the pilots that they were not allowed to say anything about this triggers me, because that means that they've been seeing these and they wanted to make sure that this stayed a secret. So let's keep looking into that. I had another video, but we're not going to be able to go into it. But there was a video that surfaced about a little white boy running to his neighbor's house with a whip in his hand to whip their daughter. Their daughter is a black girl. Sorry? No, it was a girl. So the little white boy went to the little black girl's door and started banging on her door. Her mom came to the door and was like, you better stop banging on my door, little boy. You need to go. He's wielding a whip at them. The father of the black girl goes over to the parents, to the white people parent house and say, your son came over to my house with a whip to beat my child. Can you tell him not to come over to my house? The white parent pulls a gun out, okay, wailing it around. accidentally shoots the gun, okay, and then was not arrested but cited for the gun going off, okay. Let's switch this around. If Christian, black boy, went to a white girl's house holding a whip, saying that he was going to whip her, okay, he probably would not have made it back to his parents' house. He would have probably got shot in front of their house and they would have justified it. So let's pay attention to what they're doing here. And that if a little white boy come to your house welling if he come to my house, he getting his ass whooped. I'm telling you now. Yeah. So thank you guys for coming in with Kristie J and the Chisholm Report. I appreciate y'all every Saturday coming in to get the information from me. You can always call in 702-551-5261. Thank you again to Hot 702.5 FM for them to be able to give me this platform for me to be able to speak to you guys. If you see someone out there grinding, let them know you see them shining. I appreciate you guys. I love you, and I'll see you next Saturday at 10 a.m.